Why are you two moping? Huh?
And then let's set the here. And this. Let's call this Ghost of Saltmarsh Session 1. Not Dead by Daylight.
Not Dead by Daylight.
Oh, this isn't Dead by Daylight? I am in the wrong stream.
It's actually Red Dead Redemption.
Star Citizen?
Warframe!
Sid Meier's Pirates would be more accurate. Okay, let's do that.
There we go.
I see you better, Rogue!
I have nothing in that area.
In what area?
It's just here.
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
I think probably the funniest thing I'm sitting here thinking is I know which of the girls is which, but all the guys, I don't know which one of you is which.
Nah. You'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured.
We all sit here like, I'm Batman. He's the boy Robin.
I married
Yes.
one of them, Rogue.
I'm gonna guess it was the one that had the dog with him earlier.
One had a dog earlier.
Hey Vax, come here.
That
He's just
one
turning
calling
around.
me.
He's like, these have been abandoned.
No, Dova.
Not again.
Come on.
He's the funniest thing is that he's also like placed right above you. I want to pet your dog.
What do you want?
He might blame you to death.
I
bark at
like
you.
dogs. Dogs are like some of the
all
most
the limbs.
There we go. Stream should be online. In theory.
Okay, get off.
Crap, we gotta behave now.
Oh,
No, we don't. Behaving's overrated.
is. I need to stop the Ruby voice first.
Now let's just make sure that my D&D scene is working. Because it should be.
No, that's a wrong. That is not. I did get a notification, by the way.
Gotta.
I have no notifications turned on for my D&D scene though, because that is loud and deafening when you're trying to kill your players.
Stop blaming
Don't
me.
kill us.
No
Or
promises.
do kill us, whichever.
Don't like try to actively kill us.
No promises.
If you kill us, we set Saltmarsh on fire. This whole campaign is over right there and then.
We invent napalm and set the entire region to flame.
Who needs napalm? At least two of us know how to cast fire spells.
I got answer. Oh, dude.
Napalm's more fun though.
Well, you're gonna have to get the alchemist kit for that one.
At least
Let's do it.
At least two. I'm pretty sure that fire-wise, most of you could manage to pull off some kind of fire.
Eventually,
yeah.
yeah.
Campaign goal.
If a campaign goal become pyromaniacs,
Oh no, that I already. The campaign goal is to get rid of Saltmarsh.
oh, great, evil campaign, and nobody told me.
No one told me.
Surprise! Well, I
But
mean,
I
it kind of fits for most of our characters.
Surprise, we were the bad guys all
Uh,
along.
Some way or another.
I mean, I'm sure mine and Kitten's characters could easily change, so.
Mine can't.
Is yours a goody two shoes? But yours thinks he's a god.
He thinks specifically that he's the god El Martyr.
Ah!
We had another campaign where we have a what's it
I
called?
heard myself echo.
Bullet.
Yeah. That happened.
And we pretty much want to defeat it every other thing that
Do
went bump in
that.
the night that we killed. Hoping that we'd have like a were vampire bouye as like the last boss in the
Okay, I think that everything looks pretty good on my screen, so
Everything looks good.
now we can start
Yeah,
killing
it's
you.
Oh, lovely.
I actually have a notebook. So.
That's not a bad thing to have. I think Chris has a squeegee board. Usually he keeps one.
Nope, head works.
Mine is actually a Joker's notebook. Specifically.
I have a Hyrule notebook back there behind me.
I also plan on buying a Critical Role notebook.
I want
Just
one
remember,
of those.
Dross, stuff's
Stop.
gonna die a lot
Lemming
faster
me.
because I'm not healing.
I'm healing.
Okay, so to give you guys a little bit of an idea, Saltmarsh is a small fishing village, tucked away on the southern coast of the Kingdom of Keeland. For several generations, it had a formidable military power, superior cavalry and bold knights began to push the kingdom's borders outwards into the north, west, and east. With each successful campaign, the crown's wealth and power grew, and in turn, the kingdom's main focus moved further and further away from where it began, leaving Saltmarsh to fall, and other local villages in the area to slowly fall into disarray. With no kingdom to protect them, they fell under piracy and bandits and that sort of thing. So the people of Saltmarsh have a high distaste for piracy. However, it's still quite common in the area. In time, the kingdom's power in the north caused a lot of strife with other kingdoms that it bordered, forcing them to sign peace treaties and to raise a navy and sort of actually deal with some of the piracy, because of course the further the kingdom got away, the stronger the pirates became, but the stronger the pirates became, the more the kingdom was like, well, maybe we should deal with this situation. It's still a very back and forth situation currently, however. The crown has decided that its best bet for some of these older villages is to basically sell them out. So what's recently happened in Saltmarsh is that the kingdom has sent dwarves to mine the area. Now, the people of Saltmarsh are your very typical small village. They're distrusting of outsiders, and they definitely don't want their fishing village, which they're very proud of, to become a mining town. It's a very different trade, and they are very unimpressed with what the crown is trying to do. I mean, the new changes aren't necessarily bad for the village because it is bringing some life back. But there are definitely forces at work that wish to prevent this mining situation. So from what you're aware, there are basically three major parts to Saltmarsh. There's the original villagers and fishermen who just want Saltmarsh to stay the same and be safe. There are the pirates who generally want to rape, pillage, and
Do pirate things.
do pirate things precisely. And there's also
Piracy.
there's also the new people who have come in, the miners who are looking to set up and establish a strong mining community in the area. None
So
of them
3
like
factions.
each other.
Of course not.
Why would they?
Yeah. That'd make this campaign too easy.
Hello, guys. Bye, guys. Oh.
So
This town's fine.
each of you, in your own way, have come to Saltmarsh for one reason or another. You arrive into a town. Here, I will put you on the town map.
I was gonna say that blur was beautiful.
I was gonna say I haven't played 8-bit Final Fantasy in at least 20 years.
So you enter the town of Saltmarsh from the south. There's only really one road leading into town.
I see at least.
Hard ass.
For
can't help
travel, there's only one entrance into Saltmarsh. As you can see, it is walled off. And there
Also,
are
I think-
cliffs.
I think you mean we came in through the north because this is south.
South is here. I will ping it. Why am I green? Let's fix
That's
that.
the north.
According to the compass on the bottom right,
Yeah, it says this way is north.
North. Southmost of the map you're looking at. I will
Okay.
rephrase. If I said north, how many of you would have looked at the bottom of the page?
Me.
Not me.
not me.
Well, first off, the compass is pointing to the left.
Right?
Mhm.
Who the
Not
fuck
the
makes a
bottom.
map like that anyway?
So really, you're pinging at the west.
So
Don't worry, 5
From-
minutes of Photoshop will take care of that.
from what you've been able to glean, there are a couple taverns in town. There are a couple inns of varying quality.
Bless you.
There's some simple markets, most of which seem to sell local produce. Lots of fish markets, which comes as no surprise to anyone.
I am shocked.
Sell fish here? Amazing.
But it has the most of the makings of your average town. Actually, where you guys would find yourselves during the beginning would be at the... should be... the snapping line, which will be right here. Hang on.
Gotcha.
This building. What the snapping line is a popular inn and tavern. It's built from plank hulls and a half dozen decommissioned fishing ships. And that gives it a very, like, weathered look. There are still even barnacles on some of the wood. So it's a very interesting aesthetic to the building. It is, however, very clean and well kept. All the rooms are nautically themed, so you're not surprised to find anchors and fishing nets and mounted fish decorating the walls. The entire place, quite frankly, kind of smells like a boat, fishing boat. You get the feeling that it's so embedded in the wood that that smell will never fade.
Honestly, I'm fine with that.
And you're pretty sure the longer you stay here, the more your belongings will begin to share that smell.
Hopefully not
Ooh.
permanently.
Oh, it's probably gonna be permanently.
That'd be great.
You have met the barkeep and woman who runs the inn. Her name is Hannah, and she has been more than welcoming to have you stay with her. She has told you many tales of her family who made their wealth catching lobsters, and how some of her family still to this day do. It's a relatively dull story, but she's very enthusiastic in telling it. They also serve a very special alcohol at the inn and tavern. It's made from lobster meat and potatoes. It's called claw wine. It's an acquired taste.
I would imagine.
The fact that it's a thing at all is like amazing to me.
Yeah.
Also gross.
You also have witnessed, well, your short time in the tavern, that Hannah is not alone. She's a relatively small human female, but she has some dock hands that stick around, and you get the feeling anyone looking to start a bar brawl may find themselves at the other end of those dock hands.
Well then, let's not start a fight.
No.
So you have, for the most part, some of you have been in and out of the town over time. Some of you may just have arrived recently, but it is very clear that there is a lot of unrest in Saltmarsh. Sitting at the inn, listening to people talk, you definitely get the impression of the locals just want to fish, the miners just want to mine, and nobody seems to like the pirates.
You're saying the pirates just don't want to pirate?
No,
Well-
the pirates are pirating, and that's probably why everybody doesn't like.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, you haven't seen very many pirates sitting at the tavern having a beer. At least you're not aware of any.
That's because they don't know how to parlay.
There you
Oh.
go.
God. But you have definitely encountered like local fishermen come in from the catch in the evening who have complained of seeing pirate flags in the distance, and you just get the very clear feeling that there's a lot of contempt towards piracy from everyone. So one evening, while you are all um in the inn for various reasons, either drinking, eating, or listening
All of
to
the above.
local rumors, or perhaps just relaxing before heading to bed, um, you do overhear, and it's not the first time, but this is the first time you've heard so many details. You've heard brief mentions of it, but you hear of a house in town with rumors of ghost stories. Now, you know fishermen to be relatively superstitious, and you're not surprised when you hear talk of ghost ships and giant sea monsters that swallow ships whole.
Kraken.
But you definitely have heard more recently a lot of talk of a particular house in town, dilapidated and long abandoned, that seems to have ghosts attached to it. So there is a gentleman who has visited the inn a few times. and he's in the inn this night talking about how he's been to this haunted house and he can confirm what he's seen there. While he's talking, he seems a bit eccentric in his tale, but he is very firm that what he saw is true. He tells stories of armies of ghosts in the basement and hordes of skeletons in the attic. You find it relatively hard to believe due to the fact that this is a house we are speaking of, not a keep. But his outward position he gives off is that he believes what he is saying. And this man is very frightened of what he has encountered, to the point where you're almost convinced there must be some truth behind something he's saying. It can't just be a rumor. Nobody is this afraid or this convinced without some kind of actual fact to stand on.
So, Dreher, do we know where the house is on the map?
You don't. You're more than able to try to ascertain that information. You know it's in town, or close to town, but without actually asking around, you're not familiar enough with the town to know, well, okay, let's go down this street and this street and we'll come to the big haunted house.
Okay. I just wondered if there was like a house somebody had been talking and pointing at or something.
No, and normally you would think there aren't that many like dilapidated houses or abandoned houses, but with all the piracy, it's a relatively common thing in the area for houses to suddenly have no one to live in them.
All right, everybody, pull your money together. Let's buy a house.
Sounds good.
The haunted one?
It's a little more complicated than that.
I got 10 gold in it.
I got 15.
You empty ones. I'm sure somebody's willing to sell for cheap.
Well, I mean, if we
You gotta
clear
pay
out
for the lawyer
haunted one-
fees.
Gotta pay so much.
Trust me, closing costs are not cheap, guys.
Taxes, lawyer fees. It's just easier to strike a deal with the local government. Tell them to give you like.
I'm sure we can just buy the haunted house. I'm sure it's fairly cheap right now.
Yeah, they'll sell it to us for 2 gold.
And then
That's
you
what the
just
game's
clear
gonna
out the haunted house and then that'll be your base of operations? Is that the plan?
No, we're just
Well,
gonna live there.
Still more expensive than Flint, Michigan.
We're all just gonna get jobs in the town, and that's the game.
We're gonna all become fishermen. That's the plan here.
Whole campaign will just be you guys day-to-day fishing
Yep.
and drinking
That's all we're doing.
crab wine.
Yep.
I don't know about crab
I
wine.
still don't get that. That's still, oh.
I'm gonna find every bar that has crab wine and just burn it down.
Wow.
Hey, it's probably better than the other wine we had.
My mind is going.
And then I'm gonna
into
collect
so
the
many
insurance
places.
money.
I'm sure I can convince my character that is for the best, as long as there's no one in the building.
Runs into buildings.
I'm a little
screams
bit
fire.
afraid.
They all panic and run.
I'm a little bit afraid of what my party is going to do. I'm not going to lie.
We're your murder hobos. Every DM has
needs
a
a
bunch
motor
of...
hobo.
Yeah, exactly, and we're your murder hobos.
Especially since we don't own a house, apparently.
Yeah.
Exactly. Buy haunted house, make haunted house attraction, make money off attraction.
There you go.
I'm not sure that you can be a murder hobo if you're not a hobo anymore, so once we buy the house, we're golden.
Yeah, we'll just be
Then you're
murderers.
just
Yes.
murderers?
Yes, exactly.
And we'll go play Dead by Daylight.
People will still think the house is haunted because of all the people we killed.
That's true.
Everybody who goes there dies. Must be haunted. It's the perfect cover up for murdering people. The ghosts did
As
it.
long as, just make sure nobody has a Great Dane that talks.
We would have gotten away with it too.
Ruh-roh, Scoob.
Can I switch to a druid real quick?
Oh my god, no.
We should have done that. That would have been great.
I'm sorry, what?
I'll go buy a wagon and get paid.
Oh my god. Send help. My
Can I change
campaign's
Crack into
devolving.
a Mastiff?
Oh my
No.
god.
We cannot.
He's not helpful, but it's fine.
I mean, is Scooby ever helpful?
He's probably more helpful than a Dumbo octopus.
I don't know. Just wait till you're underwater and that Dumbo octopus slips through a door and opens it.
Oh, that's right.
Because as far as I'm aware, octopus can slip through tiny little holes. Because they don't
can.
have bones.
It's very weird.
Just kill more people and make the make more haunted houses. By the end, we'll just have a haunted village.
There you go.
I like this idea.
The weird part is I knew
now.
about the octopus thing because of an episode 11.
Okay, but yeah, no, so, you know that there's a haunted house, you know the gentleman at the bar seems to be very adamant, and other villagers back up his tale in the sense that, oh yeah, that's haunted, I know it, I've walked by there a few times, but this guy is definitely having claims that he's been inside, and all the way down into the basement,
Wait, he
or
said
so
he
his
has?
tale.
And
Yeah,
so, like, the house.
Okay, so what? Sorry, I was gonna say as soon as like he's saying that, I just want to walk up to him and ask him where the house is.
he'll like, he's nursing a crab wine.
Of course.
That'll never get you normal, ever.
He's nursing a crab wine, and he looks at you, and he opens his mouth to reply, and this huge belch comes out, and it smells like fermented crab meat.
Ugh.
I'm sure your feline nose is handling that real well.
Oh no, it is not.
And he hiccups, and he goes, hey, I don't give up information for free, you know.
Yeah, well, it looks like you give out scents for free.
And he holds up his
How
cup
did
to
I
you.
expect it?
He goes, I need another glass of wine.
How about this? I'll pay for your next glass of wine if you tell me where this house is.
That's the deal, but you gotta hear the whole story first.
That's fine with me.
Hmm.
I'll take his cup and I'll go buy him a new one.
Okay, it'll cost you a silver. It's not a super fancy wine. And anyone who's overheard that you're buying him a wine is just kind of eyeballing you like she's crazy. But as soon as you return, he looks you over and he goes, okay, I could tell you exactly where it is, and I can also tell you a secret. I know where the back door is! And he bursts into laughter.
It's not the first time I've heard that before.
Oh, so the back door, huh?
Yeah, there's less ghosts in the back door.
In the back door. He sounds real smart.
All right. You wanna tell me the story
Okay,
so that I can get out
So-
of here?
so like this one time, just one time, because you don't go back.
Okay, Cam.
I went to this house, because everybody's like, it's haunted. I was like, it's not that bad. Had a couple glasses of wine, was feeling tough. So I went around back, found the back door, and it like opened up into like a kitchen or something, and then there was a scullery and then a passage that leads to them from the back door, and then like a basement or something. I don't really remember. I might have had more than 2 glasses of wine.
I can tell.
Wait, 2 gets him that far?
He's a little bit of a lightweight. Cut him some slack.
He's
But
constant.
but I do know that when I got to the basement stairs, a horde of ghosts came. Like, I'm talking 100 ghosts. And I peed because it was scary.
As soon as he says that, like, Max has her hand to the bridge of her nose, just rubbing it, like, oh my god, this man.
And then I left because it was real scary.
And you needed new pants.
And new wine.
I think I went to sleep in those pants.
Ew! Ew!
So, Dre,
Well, this
just
is
quick
happening.
Question. Has anybody in the town, like, disappeared after going into the house? Like, they died in there, or is it just people have seen ghosts in there?
From what you understand, there haven't been any confirmed disappearances because of the house. People tend to go missing in the village periodically due to the fact that, I mean, you go out on your fishing boat and never come home. And so there are disappearances, but none confirmed due to this house specifically. However, more so than just this one drunken man, people haven't gone inside, but they talk of hearing like preternatural sounds coming from the house, wailings and crying and that sort of stuff. But as this guy finishes telling his tale, he downs this wine, stands up, and looks at you and he goes, I gotta pee again. And he starts stumbling away.
You didn't tell me where this house was.
Oh, she knows. And he points to the barkeep.
That's why you don't ask the first person. You ask around.
Don't ask the drunk.
Oh, I'm asking the drunk because he has the most information. Apparently the back door is where you want to go.
I feel like it's not gonna
Just
matter.
like a
in the house.
rogue.
So what else is going on in the town, Dreyer? Anything else?
You've definitely heard rumors of a pirate excuse me, a pirate establishment close by, but without access to boats, you'd be really hard pressed to reach it, and none of the local fishermen are gonna boat you towards the pirates. That's just not gonna happen. They want nothing to do with it. So yeah, without a boat, you'd be hard pressed to deal with any kind of pirate situation. You also have heard rumors of lizard men in the area, but nobody has much to go off of for that. You know that it is a potential threat to the village, but without someone actually finding where they're hanging out, you're not entirely sure how you could track them. Beyond that,
So are lizard men by default like just evil in this world? I
think
don't know
they're
how...
neutral, actually.
um,
Chaotic neutral or something like that.
I think it just also depends on which lizard.
they're more like primitive and like primal, if that makes sense. They're
Kind of stupid.
less civilized. Like a civilized village could be threatened by them just for the fact that
They'll come and pillage and take what they need and then leave.
So they're like most
The way
politicians.
they'll
then.
die.
All right. Important question. Are we doing this where we're already a pre-established party, or do we have to meet?
I'd say that you've been drinking together for the last few days. As outsiders, most of the villagers don't want to sit and have a drink, so you kind of got sent to the outsider table together.
Sent to the kids' table.
To the kitty table. It's okay.
Everybody's like, "You guys are freaks. Go sit in that corner."
Rude.
So you've been drinking together.
Village anyway.
I'd probably be sitting in the corner anyways.
So what are we looking at for like what are we looking at for like a price of a boat? Like how much is like the bare minimum we need for
Like
a boat,
rowboat would be the only thing even like
close to what we can afford.
Close to what you could afford, and you're looking at easily a couple hundred gold to get a decent rowboat.
I was gonna say, doesn't one of us already have a boat?
Depends if that individual has disclosed that information.
Yeah, like
I actually do have a boat.
Like a big boat or a small boat?
Kind of on the smaller.
Let's call it a medium boat.
Do you have a rowboat?
No,
Is it a boat that is able to just fit you and your ego?
Here,
No,
hang on.
it
I
could fit
I could show you guys his boat. I gave you which one? A keel boat, right?
Yeah,
Damn, somebody straight up got a boat.
Yeah,
I got a boat.
but I don't think he can pilot the boat by himself.
He cannot
I
pilot
can't.
the boat by himself. So here you go. This is the boat that he has.
Holy shit! The boat's bigger than the village.
It's great. It's like 2,000 feet long. Well, 1,000.
Guys, this is just
This
so you
village
can
is
see.
screwed.
Oh my god.
That's
Yeah.
a big damn boat.
I accidentally parked my boat on the land.
Wow, how did you manage
We're gonna
that?
have some struggles.
It
It's
is
actually
60
an
feet
airship.
long. It's not bad.
It's actually an airship, not a water
Um,
I was gonna say it just reminds me of like Fallout 4.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
decent little boat.
Yeah.
Little by boat. It's better than a rowboat, not as good as like a
It could fit
Fit-
all of us,
longboat.
basically.
Yeah, it
does have
could.
a
Okay,
ballast.
so what you're saying, it's more like right. That's it, right there on the map.
Probably.
Probably. It could dock. It's small enough that it could go to a dock. It doesn't. You don't need a rowboat to go between the boat and shore.
Okay.
We're not quite pirates yet.
However, yeah, it does have a ballista, but it's completely damaged. It doesn't work. It needs repair, and repair requires a specialist to do so. It can't just be an average person.
And money.
And money, of course.
Money.
Nobody does stuff for free.
Why would they want to do stuff for free?
But yeah,
I'll set
to
the haunted house on fire
successfully
for free.
successfully pilot the ship, sail the ship, you get the point. It does require a minimum of a crew of 2 individuals, and with the ability to sail or water vehicle proficiency. So Vincent does have the ability to teach someone to help him, but it would take time for him to teach one of you to assist in sailing the boat.
Yeah.
Let's go back.
I can either teach someone or we can hire someone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. You could hire as many people as you want. Although you have to find
Again,
someone crazy enough to
money.
get on a boat to go to pirates, but
Also, crazy enough to get on a boat with us.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
other than that, is there anything else really going on in the town at the moment?
it's
kinda
pretty
sounds like
it's a pretty average town. I mean, you could try to get a job in the mines or on a fishing ship, but Or- you could go off into the wilds and try to find something to do.
Nah. We traveled
So
through
is
the
there-
wilds to get here.
is there somebody in charge of the city?
Oh yeah,
Like,
100%.
mayor or
There's a town. It's run by town elders.
the elder's name, or do we not know that yet?
You haven't met them. I'm sure you could ask around if you wanted to get the town elders' names. You do know that there's different elders depending on the section of the group of people. Like, the town is very divided. Like, there's fishermen, and then there's merchants, and then there's miners, and each one has a different elder.
All right.
So I don't know. Do you guys want to go maybe check out the house? I was thinking we could see what the elders kind of have to say about it.
They might. I don't even know if they'd be willing to talk to us. We haven't really done anything.
I'm sure if we take care of the house first and then go to talk to them, it's like we took care of it. Now you kind of have to listen to what we say.
That's what I was thinking. I think that'll be our best bet.
Okay.
Here's my question: how exactly does one go about punching a ghost?
That's a very good question. Let's go find out. That's what,
You are not
slowly.
aware of how to punch ghosts? You have not researched ghost punching before?
Would I have researched
So,
ghost punching?
I just want to say, like, this is Max just full confidence right here. Just like, I don't know how to punch a ghost, but we're gonna go find out. I'm gonna go find out where this house is, and she's gonna go find out where the house is.
Yeah, for sure. What were you asking?
So hold on. It's here somewhere. I just gotta find the right section. So as like I have religion and arcane because I was a member of the clergy. Like, would I know more about ghosts than like the other guys would?
Yeah, as a general rule, you'd have more, like, basic understanding. I don't know, per se, that you'd know specifically how do you punch a ghost, because that's probably not something someone's written a book about.
But
It's important information to
Do I
have,
know
though.
that if like we tried to fight them, we'd actually be able to hurt them?
Yeah, we'd be able to tell.
you would be able to roll me a religion check, and I can, based
First
off
roll.
of...
Don't fuck it.
Yeah.
How do I,
Said don't
how
fuck
do I
up.
roll religion on this? Just click religion then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you should be able to click the word
Okay.
religion, and it'll roll.
That's a 7.
That's a 7.
Yep.
Would,
You regret not
would
taking
I-
demonology.
would I be able to roll religion or arcana on that? help him?
It's...
To give him the advantage?
No, I'll say no, just for the fact that it's less arcana, more religion.
But I do have
And-
religion. Can I just roll
However,
that?
you are
I was gonna
not...
say, everyone has, but
You're not a religious-based character. But based
what
on
about
that,
me?
it's too late. Before
I
the
know, that's
rolls go
fine.
out, kids.
I know. I'm
So
just saying,
what?
like, for
From what
future
you
reference.
understand, you know that ghosts are a fallible creature. You've read tales of ghosts being bested in combat by heroes or different clergymen, depending on the situation. Religious fighters, paladins, priests, that sort of stuff. You're not entirely sure exactly how it was done, but you do know it's a possibility that they can be bested in combat. As for
Is there
this
some kind of a
haunted
church in
house...
town?
Pardon?
Is there any, like,
Is there some kind of a church in town?
Yes, there is a...
Because I think the secret to punching a ghost is going to end up being washing your hands in holy water.
There is a
Probably.
temple to Prokin in town, as well as a cemetery. I don't know if that sort of goes hand in hand with a church. But yeah, there's a temple to Prokin, that's very well established and well attended. You do know that the people of this town worship the sea god, which comes as no surprise to anyone. They're fishermen.
I mean, I guess.
I mean, do we want to check with them and see you know, if they know more about it than like I do. But is like, do we need a special kind of weapon or anything?
I was gonna say we just have faith in ourselves and whatever we bring.
Yeah, I say we wing it.
And
I
hope,
guess scream like little girls.
and hope the traveler just helps me through this.
I really don't think my sword's gonna do much against ghosts, but we could try. I mean, if they're skeletons, we can definitely deal with that.
I pat him on the shoulder and tell him, "Don't worry, God's light will protect us."
Oh,
Will
that makes me
looks at
feel
you like
much
you're
better.
fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Let's go see
Max
if we
is-
can punch a ghost guy.
Max is just gonna say that is right. The traveler will help us with this, right?
It's gonna be like a religious fight. My god's better than your god.
It happens in like
It's more, I'm better than your God.
It's more of I've seen my god. You're not a god.
As for where the haunted house is, after speaking with the innkeeper Hannah for a little bit, she is able to tell you that it is this house. I'll move the little marker to it. In town.
Oh, so it's not that far.
Yeah,
So,
that's like just across
literally
the
2
street.
houses away.
I mean,
Yeah, it's
honestly,
like literally around the corner and down the street.
we can just burn it down. Problem solved.
I
Let's
think it's
not.
like last resort.
I don't think people would appreciate it if we just started burning their houses down.
Well,
Yeah,
we're
I'm
supposed to murder hobos, so
Well, the thing is that we're not murdering anything if they're already dead.
fair.
We don't know that.
On a side note, however, you do know that, hold on, the temple is all the way on the technically northeast end of town, up by the graveyard. It's relatively, so if we go up to, yes, right here.
So the better question is, why hasn't the temple already taken care of it if it is ghosts and whatnot? Isn't that kind of their job?
You know, that's a very good question.
It's
I
because they
mean-
don't know how to punch.
You're more than welcome to go and ask them why they haven't taken care of the problem.
You know, that's a very good question. Maybe
Yeah.
then we could also like do the little. Is there anything we could do to hopefully hurt these ghosts? Bullshit.
Yeah, well, that
I
was
mean-
kind of my thought. Is don't ever go do something without someone knowing that you're, you know,
That it was
gonna
you.
take care, that they're gonna take, that you're gonna take care of the problem. We just wandered into a random house, shit goes bad, and we burn down the house on accident or something. Then the
We'll get
village
blamed for
management
that.
goes, why were you even there? You shouldn't even been in the house, you know.
Yeah,
Oh, if
I
shit goes bad, we
mean-
can
Find
blame the priest.
somebody-
that's good.
Exactly. If the priests hire us to deal with the house, then you know it's like,
Roll that shit
sorry.
uphill. Call it a day.
yeah,
This is what they
exactly.
told us to do. They were wrong.
No, we're just gonna set the house on fire anyways. Like, even if we take care of the problem, right?
Yeah, totally. No big
Maybe.
deal.
If there's spiders in the house, then yeah.
That's why you guys are bringing me.
I agree. If there's
If
spiders in the house, we just end
we're
it.
burning that bitch down.
Oh my god.
Let's-
Okay,
And this is
so
why I'm in.
were you guys gonna make your way up to the temple then?
So
Before
we leave the bar, I want to ask Hannah if like there's a person that's lived in that house recently, or if it's like been empty for a long time.
she'll look you over and she's a little, you could tell there's apprehension there, not because she's got an issue with you, but you're talking a lot about this haunted house, and I mean, you're a paycheck, quite frankly, and if you go to the haunted house and die, well, no one's gonna rent your room anymore. But she looks you over and she goes, it's been abandoned for quite some time. Honestly, I can't recall the last time it was occupied. It's almost
So
as
we just
though
gotta check for a guy who's had 3 goblets of wine and decided to be.
we are quite, as far as I'm aware, it's just always been haunted.
So, like, as far as anyone's concerned, as far as anyone knows, the house has always been haunted for whatever reason.
I don't recall it ever not being haunted. I've gone by it once or twice on my way to the temple to pay my respects to the sea god, but it the shrieks, I take the long way to the temple now. It scares me too badly to walk past.
Hey, we could at least run by it and scout it out on the way to the temple.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
a good idea. See if something's. So, what time of
Yeah.
day is it, Dreher?
Probably between like mid-afternoon, sometime between lunch and dinner time.
Okay. Yeah, I say
Oh
we
wow!
run
And I talked
by-
to some man that was drunk off his ass.
Hey, day drinking's the thing, okay?
It is Memorial Day.
Oh my
Hey,
god!
this is a fishing village, so
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
Maybe
give
he,
you. I'll
maybe
give.
he does
Cheers,
night
everyone.
fishing.
I'll give you the I'll give you the fishing village part.
Maybe that guy has
They
seen
drink-
some things and he's using alcohol to drink away his problems.
That's
he's
not how
seen
you drink away
from
problems.
inside the house.
To be fair, my office did have somebody call up because they saw a ghost.
Okay.
Not even
I don't
joking.
I don't know how you handle that as a boss, but
Be like,
On
suck
our
it up,
way
turn on the lights.
to
You
the
check to
temple,
see
I
if they
guess.
check to see if they have vacation time, and if they do, you say okay.
We just
so
said
you're
she was hungover.
you guys decide you're gonna stop by the house on the way?
Yeah, try to scout it out a little bit.
Do a flyby at least.
Drive
Yeah,
by.
cause it's quite easily on the way there, so
Yes, drive by. We'll drive the boat over. Sounds great.
It is
It'll
right.
demolish the house entirely because of how huge it is.
We'll just shoot a bunch of spells at the house, burn it down, and go and say, "Hey."
Hey, I think we dealt with your
Well,
problem.
one of those missed, so
Two of those guys.
it's a house.
Doesn't.
It's pretty big.
How could I
Yeah.
miss it?
Has been drinking with none of us watching.
Well, I mean, we've been
I
drinking
straight
together.
up can just set a bonfire in the house. Don't worry about it. I got this covered. If we
Well-
burn down the house, I totally got this covered.
Is the crab wine flammable?
All wine
It's
is flammable.
wine.
It's alcohol.
That's about the
Alcohol,
only thing
yeah.
it's probably
No.
good for.
It's got to be a certain alcohol percentage, like proof, in order to be flammable. Otherwise, it just evaporates out, and you're cooking something with.
It's
Mhm.
gonna be a little bad smelling, I'm sure, but
Everything in town
Yeah,
is all
burning crab and alcohol. That sounds great.
I was gonna say, if it's flammable, we can just make Molotovs.
We're gonna be a great party.
I am
We're
so
doing
sorry.
great, guys. Also, I'm just imagining Kitten being in the background, be like, "Hey, yeah, fire, fire."
Yeah.
She's the smart one of us, so she can't.
Yeah, I would. However, also, I feel like there was a reason we were told that there's a graveyard.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
was just
hang on,
random
I'm-
information
I am
offered.
currently looking into frame drop problems here, chat. Just give me one sec.
part of your
Yes.
problem is also we don't have any quality options yet. So
Yeah, it has to be 720.
Well, not a lot I can do about that yet. So,
Yeah.
well, like as long as you keep your viewers up, you should be able to hit affiliate probably today. So
no, I still need my viewership's fine. I just need to stream 3 more days this week
Ah.
and I'll make affiliate. So, well,
3
2 more
confirmed
after
days.
today.
You're at 69 followers, though.
Yep. And
Yeah,
I
not
have an
available.
average viewer of like
Yes, I had to, Alex.
4.3, but today should bring that up higher than 4. So,
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I have it
so
hosted
next-
on my channel as well.
and so probably next week you probably will have you know, quality settings.
yeah, for sure. I have whatever bitrate set that Rogue told me to do. So,
3500.
what he said. Yeah. No idea why I'm dropping as many frames as I am, though, and it's really annoying. Because everything on my internet end checks out.
As I
Oh
said,
my God.
it comes down to like because you're not affiliated, like Twitch doesn't give you priority. So, and it's like it's almost 1 o'clock, which means a bunch of people are probably climbing on. So,
Yeah.
Yep, I've just watched like 8 live notifications go off.
yep.
Yeah, I just
on
got
my
a
computer.
few.
Nothing I could do. Next week will be better, guys.
Right.
I will get
Here's
those
hoping.
3 days in this week, so.
We're working on it.
On the to-do list.
So you said you're going
To be fair, it sounds better than the first Critical Role session.
Their audio was pretty bad.
Yeah, it was.
Well, audio has also changed since then, so.
Yeah, I watched
Yeah.
the first one the other day.
Horrible. Anyways,
So you make your way to the house on the way. Okay, so the road to the house winds through the rocky coastal terrain, often offering a view of the sea below in the distance. Low clouds press upon you. Occasional patches of sunlight appear out over the water. A stiff wind blows, coming off the waves and ocean, carrying with it the briny stink of churning salt water. The house is the decrepit house sits on the highest ground in the area. Around it, a stone wall has crumbled in many places, exposing the interior grounds. An ornate metal gate lies open at the end of its drive, swaying slightly in the wind. Wild flora grows throughout the inner yard, but all the years cannot hide the evidence of well-tended garden that once sat there. Near the house, the rotted wooden roof of a water well rises out of the tall grass.
But we don't hear anything coming from the house or.
You do hear like the faint, very, very faint sound of something inside the house. Without going inside, because there's a wall surrounding the property. Yeah. Without going inside that wall, you're basically, unless you go stick your ear to the door.
I want to go to the wall.
Yeah, how tall is
Dude,
it?
I was just thinking that. Oh my god, kitten curiosity.
Yeah.
How high is the wall?
Yeah, is it like just...
It's a
like
6 foot tall wall.
Oh, geez.
You also said the gate was open, right?
The gate is open, and the wall is crumbled in places.
Yeah, I just want to walk through the gate. You just get a little closer.
Okay, you don't want to climb the 6 foot wall?
No.
Kick the wall down.
I want to climb the 6 foot wall just to climb it. Perches on wall stays.
Do you actually want to?
I do, but all I can picture is me getting a 1 and falling on my face, or just walking into the wall.
I mean, you have a climbing speed.
You do have a climbing speed.
So it'll help a bit, I'm sure.
Yeah, you'll get advantage on a climb check, so either athletics or acrobatics, your choice depending on what style of climbing you want to do. You can either brute force your way up or finesse your way up.
You're a rogue.
Can I seduce the wall?
Oh my god.
No.
You're not a bard.
You are not a bard. Bard is
only superpower.
Bard is required to seduce.
You also may not fuck the wall either.
Dude, I have a 19
Damn
charisma.
it.
Are you telling me I can't seduce people?
No, you're not a bard.
I picked
Reroll
the wrong
time.
Character. Yep.
You could certainly try to seduce the wall, I guess.
While they're seducing the wall, Max is making her way to get information about this house.
I'm gonna go talk dirty to the wall, but we don't need to cover that part.
Okay. Well, so the closer...
Hey there, wall. You're nice and hard.
The closer you make your way to the house, the more, like, the exterior you can see. You could definitely tell that this garden was once like a relatively nice garden out front. It's severely overgrown, however. You do get the feeling this woman, when she said that it's been abandoned a while, was being truthful to you. Um, you, as you approach, you do hear the faint sounds of like wailing. Um, like not like a baby or anything, but like an inhuman wailing.
Stereotypical Hollywood ghost wailing.
Yes.
From this
So,
distance,
something
is
just
there any like
bang
windows we
in
can
my
see?
house.
You wanted to see windows?
Yeah.
From the windows
Yeah, I was gonna
to
ask
the
her.
wall.
I'm assuming there are windows.
Yes, there are windows, but they are boarded up
All the windows are boarded up.
from the
Hurricane season.
outside. They are boarded from the outside. So,
And the door.
yeah, there's a front door.
Is
And
it
the
boarded
back
up?
door.
The front door is boarded up.
We know the back door isn't.
Yeah, I want to go check around the back.
So, would I recognize like what kind of spirit might be in the house from the wailing? Like, are we talking like a banshee or?
You're not sure.
Don't know enough specifically about ghosts to be able to determine,
Yeah,
like, what
you
that would
didn't,
be a sign
you
of.
didn't ever actually like. You are not a ghostbuster. You did not study ghosts, like specifically like, man, someday I'm gonna be a ghost hunter.
I'd like to re-roll as Ghostbuster. I didn't realize that was an option.
You get a
I
call.
didn't realize that was a class option.
Now we're gonna have a bard for wall seducing and a ghostbuster for ghost killing?
We got this.
That was not in the
And
player
it's
manual.
not just walls; it's just any inanimate object.
Hot.
So you were making your way downtown. You were making your way to the
Yep.
back?
Yeah, to the back door.
Yeah, just to see if the back door is actually like there, and this man was not just like fucking with us.
Or in like some kind of drunk stupor and
Yeah.
drive the whole thing.
Yeah, so you make your way around the house. It's a little bit rough going with all the overgrown foliage, but you're able to make your way to the back where you can clearly see there is a back, I guess, stone patio, and an ajar back door.
Well, at least the back door exists.
I thought
You
we
know,
were gonna go to the freezer
honestly, when he was talking about the back door, my first thought was he was remembering some drunken sex night.
Yeah, we see the back door. It's like, okay, drunk guys, intel checks out.
All right, we should probably get to the temple and then head back this way.
Yeah,
So there is a door. Is it unlocked?
it was open.
It's open.
It's
open.
ajar.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
HR.
Oh, gotcha.
An ajar door.
Oh my god, Randy.
The temple then?
To the temple.
To the temple.
To the temple.
Let's move your little doodad to temple.
Oh
Oop.
Jesus.
We're at the temple. Just like that. Quick travel.
I mean, do you need me to describe walking down the road for 10 minutes?
No, we're good.
It totally beat what our other DM does. He's got to roll every time we want to go a mile or something.
Is it? A mile's not very far.
No.
Yep.
It's like
The
we're
only
traveling.
time-
He's like, okay, I got to roll at least 10 times.
Yeah, the only time my DM ever rolls for us when traveling is if we're traveling for a day or so.
Okay,
Oh my
so
god, look, it's a kitten.
We've been ambushed.
We have been.
It is the most adorable person. I know. Oh my god.
okay,
Well, that's going back.
so you find at the edge of town, you do find a temple. It's large and stone and relatively actually open, um, so that it has a very clear view of the waves and um, like the ocean. There is a statue to which you assume is Prokin, the sea god, um, and it seems to be being attended to by a one-legged man, human.
A
You have a
one-legged
pig leg?
man human.
Does he have a peg leg, I hope?
Yes,
Uh,
please tell me he has a peg leg.
He does have a peg leg.
Yes.
Thank God.
Oh my god. Perfect.
Does he have a hook?
Just one leg, not
She-
one-handed.
Yeah,
Right.
she all she said was one-legged.
I wish he had a hook so I could ask if I could lend him a
We could give him a hook.
hand.
Well, this isn't gonna start off on the right foot.
Oh boy.
I think we knew that a long
Wow.
time ago.
I just got the foot joke. Oh my, Alex.
Okay,
I got a leg up in this
Feel that leg.
competition.
Oh my god.
All right, so who's speaking for our party?
Oh fuck, not
Oh,
me.
Not me.
Not it.
The most charismatic one should. Sorcerer.
Y'all don't want me speaking, so.
Yeah, me and Kit have the same charisma.
The last time I tried that, they made me the speaker of the party because I had a -3 to my charisma rolls, and they thought it was great.
That's
It was
what
pretty
we-
funny.
Approaches someone, you start getting screamed at.
Pretty much. I was mainly I was more
Alright.
just blunt at the time.
But while he's also talking to this person, Max wants to walk around the temple.
Sure.
So I'll go talk to him and ask him about the house.
I mean, you guys have more in common than we do, so.
Okay, so you approach this guy and he's stumbling a little bit because he's trying to sweep away some of the blown foliage from local like trees and stuff that have blown into the open temple. It's kind of funny to watch, honestly, to watch a man with a peg leg attempting to sweep up this mess while the wind continues to blow it right back to where he just swept. As you approach, he'll look to you and he'll go, "Good day."
Can
He's
I offer
Australian.
to do that? I want to offer to polish his wood.
What?
Can we light the leaves on fire?
Let's not burn down the temple, guys.
No,
I am
let's burn down the
chaotic
temple.
neutral. This could go either way.
I'm just trying to help.
This whole village is gonna burn down by the end of this.
I think so.
I'm
Welcome to
afraid.
session
Campaign
one where
mode.
the whole village burns.
All right, so I tell him hello and ask him. So we heard that there's a house that seems to be having a haunting problem.
I remember. Been there, well, passed there a few times.
So we're wondering, like, you know, can you give us any information about like what's causing it? If has anybody been in the house?
No, far as I'm aware, no one goes inside. Well, I mean, I've heard some drunk folk have wandered in once or twice, but aside from that, people just tend to avoid it, probably for the best. Not entirely sure what's going on with it, to be fair. For all I know, it's not even haunted.
I was just surprised. As a clergyman, I thought you would have perhaps, have some more information, perhaps have gone in and seen if there was a spirit that needed to be put to rest.
He'll reach over with his free hand and pat the statue to the god that you're close to. Clergyman, yes, but my specialty is making sure our boats come home safe, not dealing with ghost stories.
Ask him if there's a way to punch ghosts.
So you have not been in the house, but do you, perhaps know if there's something we can do to perhaps, put the house to rest?
If there's actually ghosts in there, you could clear them out, I'm sure. I've heard many tales and met people who have disposed of ghosts themselves. I know it's not a task for the average individual, but it's doable.
You're gonna punch ghosts.
Do we need,
Call the exterminator.
Do you know if we need any special weapons or anything, or if the weapons of mortal men will do the job?
I know the weapons of mortal men will do the job when imbued with magical capabilities, when covered in silver. And, of course, anyone with a more innate magic ability will be able to do them harm.
All right, I kind of glance back at the party and, ask, is there anything else, that we might want to know?
I've actually moved away from the party, so I can't comment.
Yeah, but
She's just
I
like
assume
wandering the temple aimlessly.
I just pull out my short sword and see if it's silver, but I don't know what it's silver looks.
You're pretty sure it's not silver. It's shiny, though.
It would cost a lot more if it was silver.
It's gotta count for something.
Yeah, it's new.
Maybe that's all that matters, is it's shiny. It could be silver.
Yep.
It's shine.
So, I'm gonna kind of thank him, and then walk back over to the party and just kind of ask him, like, who has magic, like, ability and who doesn't.
I do, and my spear is magical as well. Well, just because of me. I don't think if I give it to anybody else, if it'll stay magical.
I kind of give him a nervous look, and I'm like, yeah, I kind of do, but I wouldn't say I'm an expert.
I'm over somewhere praying, so I don't know what's going on.
You're praying to the sea god?
But yeah,
Did he say there was anything other than magic, or?
He said silver weapons are capable of doing it as well.
Oh, cool. So I just gotta, dip everything I have in silver, and we're.
I don't know if that would work, but I'm curious to know if it would.
Does silver plating count? You just have to find a butter knife that's silver and fight with that.
Can we fight with forks and spoons?
D&D, you can fight with anything you want.
wait, can we get? Can we like go
I
to
can
a
fight with a broken beer bottle if it's got silver on it.
No, just crab juice.
Granted, you roll with a unarmed check.
Yeah, true.
Unarmed dice.
get a
that's
bunch of
fine for
silver
me.
coins and throw them at the ghosts?
Well, to be
Could
fair,
we- Wait, could we throw silver pieces at the ghosts and they do damage?
If you had your gold pieces broken down. You did buy the guy a drink.
Yeah, I bought the guy a drink, so I got silver.
You don't know if that would work. You get the feeling
And-
based on how this guy was talking, silver weapons, they're not like allergic to silver.
Yeah.
They're not werewolves.
and keep in mind, there's supposed to be, skeletons and ghosts in there, not just ghosts. So even if only part of the group can hurt the ghosts, doesn't mean the rest of the group couldn't be handling the skeletons.
Oh, skeletons I can totally punch.
For sure.
I mean, if we converted all
So-
our gold to silver, took it to a blacksmith and have him melt down the silver and coat our weapons, would that work?
Don't think
It
there's
would
enough
take a
silver in all
time.
that.
It would take a lot of
Silver-
time, and it would depend on the size of weapons we're talking about.
And there is a price for like silvering weapons in the book, and it's I think fairly high.
It is very
Yeah.
high.
Last campaign it was like 100 gold.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Yes.
Then they,
And so
our TM also had an
and-
option of 25 gold.
And to be fair, you have to find a blacksmith who is capable of doing that specific task. It's not like every person ever. You get the feeling the fishing village blacksmiths are more attuned to making like fishing spears and tridents than
Horseshoes, that kind of thing.
than
Silver doesn't do
making.
well in water.
Yeah, silver does not do well in salt water.
So I mean,
Gold would though.
so I'm gonna walk back over to the clergyman and kind of ask him like, so we think we're gonna go check out the house. However, two of our friends, do not have magical abilities. Do you by any chance have some silver weapons that we could borrow? So that we can try to set the house to rest.
Or maybe a spell to at least imbue the weapons they have with magical abilities.
Yeah.
Or a silver butter knife.
Or silver.
Better
butter.
idea. Can I dip my claws in silver?
That's a bad idea. No, don't do that.
Weaponizes claws.
Yeah, I already asked if we could dip fists in silver. It didn't work.
It didn't pan out well because it doesn't sound like it would.
Well, I mean, you'd have to dip your fists in molten silver.
I can help you in two ways. I can loan you one dagger that I have that's silvered. That's all I have, silvered. And I can provide you with 1 hour of a weapon being capable of damaging these creatures, if they exist. But it'll only be for 1 hour.
Okay. I
1
think
hour
that's
is better than none.
Yeah.
I would really appreciate that. Would be very helpful. So I look back at the party and go, so is anybody, good with daggers that would prefer to take that doesn't have magic?
Max quickly points over at Lil.
Pointy,
Does
pointy,
Lil-
stabby, stabby.
So does Lil have magic yet or not?
No.
No.
'Cause-
No.
Okay,
I
so
have
not till
thaumaturgy,
level 3.
but that's it.
Okay.
And that's not a spell that does shit other than
Yeah,
be
that's not
fancy.
gonna do anything.
I can scream at the ghost really loud.
So I definitely think that Lil should take the silver dagger. And so who would want their
Stabby, stabby.
weapon imbued?
I should probably go for doing that.
That or Vincent.
Yeah, I know there's at least two of you that,
Mm-hmm.
are primarily melee. I thought Lil had like magic at this point, so
No,
No.
that's
Level
next
3.
level.
yep.
So, yeah, just, who's taking the spell? Because he'll need your weapon, obviously.
I think it'd be better for the monk to have it.
And he
Well,
cannot
can
do
he
it
do
to
it to
the
multiple?
fist. No,
Oh,
he
I
can
can't
only.
do it to the fist.
He can't do it to a fist. It has to be a physical weapon. And
Can
he
you
can.
do it to multiple?
No, he can only. It's a concentration spell, guys. It's a concentration spell. He can only do
Okay,
it once.
so should probably do it to some.
And it has to be a physical, non-magic weapon. It can't be a fist.
So
I
who's
realize
got a
those are
short sword.
weapons.
Yeah, I've got a short sword.
So probably you would be probably the best choice.
Okay, so just make a note that for the next hour, your short sword is a +1 weapon, magical weapon. He'll cast magic weapon on it.
Noted.
and he will give Lil the silver dagger. So that's not gonna change. You could just use your dagger for that, kitten. It's just that for damage purposes, it's considered a silver weapon. So stuff that can only be damaged by silvered weapons, it'll work. It doesn't do any extra damage or anything. Still just a dagger.
And it's better than nothing.
dagger.
Yes, a shiny silver dagger.
Something tells me he's not getting his dagger back.
He just handed a rogue a silver dagger.
So I want to
Sorry.
thank him, and then I think we need to head straight to the house, because if it's only going to last an hour, we need to get started as quickly as
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah, we don't want it to stop midway through and then be SOL.
By the way, while Max was checking out the place, she was looking to see if there was like any spots that weren't really visible unless you were like moving around.
I mean, sure. Like
this is just for me being a little shit for later. It's not for right this moment.
I mean, yeah, you're pretty sure you can find something.
Okay. But yeah, as we're leaving, she'll leave. That's later.
So then you guys are gonna head to the house,
Yeah?
and the plan is to go in the back door?
Yep.
I mean, unless we want to
Oh,
blow
yeah.
down the front door.
Well, we could do that. We could do, like, have some people go through the back and some people go through the front.
Kick down the front
I
door.
think we'd be better to stay together as a party.
Yeah.
Plus, like, I don't want to go blowing in through the front door and, you know.
Alerting everything known to man.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if we can sneak into the house, you know, like, I'd rather sneak into the house and take care of as much as we can before we draw everything in the house, if there is, you know.
Well, I
What
feel
I'm
like
getting
we're
at
probably
with
gonna do
this,
that.
we'll not blow the front. We'll go in the back door, though.
We'll
Plus, the
sneak
public
in the
doesn't
back
need
door.
us to know we're going in.
Kitten. Bad.
Okay, just let me get you guys onto the house map. And
House
then...
map.
I will be right back while you do that.
Ditto. I'll be right back too.
No, you're not allowed.
It's apparently unofficial break time.
He's already ran away.
With a dog, like, at his heel.
Oh, that doesn't surprise
Dogs
me.
look so upset now.
Okay,
Dad, where'd you go? Dad, come back.
I guess really quick we'll take 5 then, guys.
Okay.
I'm gonna put
I
this
gotta go get some
to...
egg rolls.
Puppers, roll to break down the door.